What's good, YouTube? This is RPU here, and I'm back again with another video. And guys, I'm back on that bearable guy shit. That's right. Man, I found something else that blew my freaking mind. You guys, I want to give a shout out to Mailman Rod for this one because he put me on a rabbit hole and I'm connecting dots and I just couldn't believe it, you guys. I had to make this video and I had to put this information out there because Bearable Guy, as I look more and more into this, Bearable Guy, Bearable Guy may have signaled the collapse. I'm serious. Like, you must beware the Ides of March. Follow Bearable Guy on Twitter at Bearableguy123. Bearable Guy is a fund jester and not an investment advisor. Consult with a registered advisor before making any investment. Bearable Guy has over 54,000 followers. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at RPUReloaded so you can get my latest updates and retweets of things that I think are interesting in the crypto space. So I've been pondering what I said in this last Bearable Guy video about March 13th, right? And a lot of people like this video. Some people told me to stop following riddlers, right? But shout out to the community, man. You guys were giving your own inputs and stuff. And so I want to give a shout out to Mailman Rod because he put me on a rabbit hole, but a lot of people were saying different things about, I was like, what's going on in March? Wigbuster said, he gave some information on construction being built on a memorial to commemorate the victims of 9/11. That's crazy. You know, I wonder if XRP has any ties to 9/11. But Mailman Rod said, beware the Ides of March, right? And so I was like, what is that? I was like, what is that? I was wondering what it was. And so I just been thinking about, like, what is that? And then randomly I decided to go to a gematria calculator and type in March 13th, right? And I want to show you guys what I found. So so we got March 13th equals 230 in Jewish gematria, 426 in English gematria, and 71 in simple gematria, right? There was two things I wanted to show you. This is not on that page. Right here. March 13th equals Ben Bernanke. So we have a connection to a central banker, right? March 13th equals Ben Bernanke. And then we also have bear with me. It must be on the next page. Right here. March 13th equals March Ides. That's crazy. Mailman Rod said, beware the Ides of March, right? And then so I go to randomly to the gematria calculator and type in March 13th and I get March Ides, a match in the Jewish gematria. So I'm like, okay, so since this popped up, I really got to start looking into this. Like, what is the March Ides? Like, what is the Ides of March, right? And so this popped up. Beware the Ides. The liver said so, and I'm like, what is that? Like, uh-oh. And this is the meaning of the Ides of March. Ides simply refers to the first new moon of a given month, which usually fell between the 13th and the 15th. In fact, the Ides of March once signified the new year, which meant celebrations and rejoicing. Yet, when heroes in movies, books, and television shows are faced with the Ides of March, it's always a bad omen. That's not good. That's not good. So, this new moon, this first new moon on a given month, which usually falls between the 13th and the 15th, is a bad sign. That's not good. It's not good, right? And so, the Ides of March happen the same week as the Federal Reserve plans to raise interest rates. How ominous is that, right? But it gets even better. It gets even better. It says the Ides of March were a turning point in the history of Rome. This is a statue of Julius Caesar, which we're going to talk about. So, beware the Ides of March. What is so evil about the day? Uh-oh. That's not good, man. The Ides of March is an evil day. It's a bad omen. And this is going to occur around the same time that the Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. The Ides of March is also known worldwide for the day marked as the date of the assassination of Julius Caesar in the 44 BC, making the day a turning point in the history of the Roman Empire. Wow. The Ides of March is the 74th day in the Roman calendar, corresponding to the March 15th, the same day that the FOMC meeting starts. That's crazy. That's crazy. The day was marked by several religious observances. The day was also set as a deadline for the Romans to settle their debts. Isn't that interesting? A day as a deadline for the Romans to settle their debts. Maybe we'll get some type of Nisara Jasar or something. Maybe, maybe not. The Ides of March is also popular worldwide for the day marked as the date of the assassination of Julius Caesar in 44 BC, making the day a turning point in the history of the Roman Empire. A turning point in the history of the Roman Empire. This day. This is unbelievable. One must have probably read of the soothsayer's warning to Julius Caesar in William Shakespeare's play of the same name, Beware the Ides of March. Not only did Shakespeare's words strike hard, the phrase was branded along the date with a dark and gloomy connotation. I'm not looking forward to this day. In fact, just about every pop culture reference to the Ides, save for those appearing in actual history-based books, movies, or television specials, makes it seem like the day itself is cursed. is cursed. This day, this day is not a good day for the financial markets. This may be the end. This may be the end of the financial markets as we know it on this ominous day, known as the Ides of March. Man, you better beware, man. Bearableguy is out here trying to warn us. That's crazy. The history of the Ides of March. The Ides of March holds a non-threatening story. Unlike others, the Romans did not number each day of the month from the beginning to the end. Instead, they sued 3 fixed points of the month with 3 marker references: the nones, the 5th or 7th, 9 days inclusive before the Ides. The Ides, the 13th for most months, but the 15th in March, May, July, and October. And the Kalends, the first of the following month. Originally, the Ides were supposed to be determined by the full moon, reflecting the lunar origin of the Roman calendar. In the earliest calendar, the Ides of March would have been the first full moon of the new year. Isn't that crazy? So there may be a full moon on this date. Now, what if this signalizes XRP going to the moon on this date? Isn't that crazy? What if everything collapsed on this day, on the full moon, on a day known as the Ides of March? Wouldn't that be crazy? I think that Bearableguy is hinting this to us. The historic representation and encounter with this date is always depicted as a bad omen. Several television shows have had episodes named the Ides of March, and it's never a good news. Beware the Ides of March. That's crazy. So look, I typed in Google because they said that after Julius Caesar was killed, it was a major turning point. It was a major turning point for Rome, right? So I typed in Google. I said, what happened to Rome after Caesar was killed? This is what Google said. Much of the Roman public hated the senators for the assassination, and a series of civil wars ensued. In the end, Caesar's grandnephew and adoptive son, Octavius, emerged as Rome's leader. He renamed himself Augustus Caesar. The reign of Augustus marked the end of the Roman Republic and the start of the Roman Empire. So when I saw that, it just kind of like blew my mind, because you could kind of say that Rome fell, but then it rose again as something else. Could March 15th, the Ides of March, be the end of something, the end of the old system and the start of the new? The end of the Roman Republic and the start of the Roman Empire? Could Bearableguy have known all of this? And he pointed it out on the calendar, a specific moon date, March 15th, the day everything collapses, the end of the old system and the start of the new. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. Shout out to Mailman Rob for sending me on this rabbit hole, man. But look at this. So how did Rome fall? Over here in the bottom left corner. How did Rome fall? Wasteful spending, greedy politicians, started endless wars, unpaid debt, dollar collapse. Sound familiar? Let me know in the comments, man. This is RPU, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.